Intelligent Radio on the air. We definitely need your support to keep bringing these type of conversations with you. We still have Equana from South Carolina on the line, but Ashley, I'm going to start with you. We said a lot. It's kind of bringing in that, that kind of overall perspective, and we definitely hear this type of conversation get brought into these conversations. So what are your thoughts, Queen, as you hear him just kind of break down a lot of things that he broke down, but what are your thoughts to it, I should say?
I feel like I was kind of taken aback because I feel like sometimes the conversations between black men and women always goes back to who has it harder. I don't care who has it harder when you're talking about, like, how can we move forward as a community and, like, build relationships, right? Like, I'm not interested in that because it seems like a cop-out and an excuse, right? And I understand everyday life, right? Like, this is what you have to navigate in. But saying, like, oh, the black man is public enemy number one and he has it harder, like, you need a woman, you need a man within our community in order for us to move forward. And, like, it just takes away from the conversation. And I'm not directing this directly to him, but just having had these conversations online and with people where it always comes back to who has it the hardest. And, like, I could easily come on here and say, but I'm not protected as a black woman. I get demeaned as a black woman for the things that I wear. I get demeaned as a black woman because I want my partner to be financially stable. I get demeaned for all of these different things, right? So it's not about that. And when you're talking about, long-standing relationships within our community, again, it comes back to the emotional, the mental, the physical labor. Why is it that someone is having to endure or ride or die because someone has cheated and we have to keep going over those things and making that happen? How about we're having a conversation about what they're looking for to have happen in this relationship, like Shanika said, and, like, that be the foundation for our relationship? Why is it that we're having to establish trust and be that ride or die in the event that these things are happening? Why are we just not mutually respecting each other and honoring this vow that we have taken to, like, love and care for each other? So, that's all I have to say.
Well, all you have to say is a basically a mic drop worthy conversation. I really should cut the show off early and end with that, because it is the fair challenge. Shanika, go ahead and give us your thoughts. Still have you quiet, so I'll give him a chance to respond to what you ladies are saying. But go ahead and Shanika, give yourself 3 cents as well, Queen.
I have nothing else to contribute because after she finished speaking, honestly, in my head, it was a mic drop. So I have nothing else to add to what Ashley just said.
Yeah, complete mic drop. All right, Equana, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name a little incorrect, so you can correct me on it. I'm about to bring you back live. I'm going to say this before I let you back in. And what Ashley just said, and again, this is not, like she said, this is not even directed at you, but it is worthy of highlighting what Ashley just said, in my opinion. Like you said, it is a mic drop worthy moment. And it's to recognize and realize that we pretty much understand that we're under that reality. And we when we start saying the traumas that we experience, those are such realities. And at the end of the day, I respect how that being brought up seems and feels like a cop-out. And I'm saying that because it's time for us in these dialogues to recognize, whether it is a cop-out or not, that that's how it's going to feel. And once it feels that way, you're going to get away from any solution to, as she just simply said, mutually respect one another. And that's what the dialogues have to turn into, because what we're watching online is the blame game that we keep talking about. The gender war is growing. I don't think I consistently say that the majority of our community is not caught up in it, but if you're online, it feels like it is. But I do think that it's growing. And the way to no longer grow it is 2 things: stop the blame game and, to a degree, highlighting to a degree, some aspects of the systemic stuff. Now, I like to jump into the systemic stuff when we start getting into the psychology of how we're going to change things. I don't think you can remove the systemic aspect as far as, okay, why are we thinking this way? So you have to kind of go back to the why we're thinking that way, if that makes sense. So sometimes it's necessary to bring it in. But, yeah, to bring in the aspect, unintentional or intentional, of who's had it harder ends up being a stagnation in the conversation. All right, Equana, I'm going to give you a chance to respond to that. Again, not talking directly to you. It just comes up quite often, and I agree with Ashley on that part. Hold on one second. Let me bring you live, brother. My board's freezing up. All right, here you go. Got you live, King. Your thoughts?
Yes, sir. I was basically, with